New Hampshire, and I'm now a student at Northeastern University in Boston. Today, I'm interviewing Ed Downs, who's a professional athletic trainer with over 25 years of experience training professional athletes and military special operations personnel. He's currently the owner of Elite Athletes Performance Facility in Miami, Florida, and the owner of Blast in Augusta, Maine. Ed, please start by telling us where you grew up and where you went to college.
That guy sounds impressive. Okay, I'm Ed Downs. I grew up in actually all over. My dad was Air Force for 30 years. So we traveled I born in Omaha, Nebraska, but I lived in Kansas. I lived in Okinawa, Japan, Germany, New Jersey, so all over. I went to college. My dad was stationed in New Jersey at the time. I was in high school. So I was looking mostly at colleges in New Jersey. So I ended up going to the state school there is the College of New Jersey. At that time, it was called Trenton State, but that's where I went to college.
What was the process like for you in deciding what to do after high school?
The process, deciding what to do. I can honestly say when I was in high school, I was really into sports, but I loved to study. So I was into my books. I was a studier. I enjoyed the sciences and mathematics. I can honestly say that I wasn't sure what I wanted to major in, so I ended up majoring in something I was good at and happened to be math. So I actually got my BS in mathematical science.
In what ways did your formal education prepare you for your career afterward?
Now, being that I'm a certified personal trainer and into the performance side of training versus just the fitness side, knowing calculus didn't play much of a role. Doing calculus, we weren't doing too much integration when it comes to working with a professional athlete. But I can tell you this much, the thought process, the systematic way of thinking as a mathematician, I'd say the structure and understanding how to integrate one level into another level. So I explain to people this way. Mathematics, you always start off with saying high school at Algebra 1, but you're going to progress as you go along to the calculuses, 1, 2, 3, and 4, etc. When it comes to improving your performance, helping an athlete get better who's already pretty impressive as a professional athlete, how do you get that guy better? You have to be able to integrate all the things that was important, like balance and stability, into that person's other factors to make him get better. So I think that's the part of mathematics, my way of thinking, and with math and engineering helped me to be able to design models and programs for professional athletes.
I really like that application of mathematical thinking. Did you have any jobs during college that influenced what you wanted to do afterward?
And influenced what I want to do afterwards. Okay, I was probably one of the only guys on the football team that was working in the math department, being a tutor for mathematics. So I say yes. I mean, I was a mathematics tutor while I was in college. I also got an internship with Computer Science Corporation my junior year. And that's where I ended up working when I first got out. That was my first job, was with CSC in Morristown, New Jersey, doing programming.
So tell us a little bit about your career path. So your first job out of college, which you just touched upon, and then maybe a few roles you've had in between that first job, where you are now, and then lastly, what you do now and what you like about what you do.
Okay. It's going to be kind of unique. It's not the typical path, put it that way. My hobby was I always loved sports. And my hobby was always in the sports arena, from like martial arts and things like that. So I was always interested in that health and fitness industry. So I just happened to be really good at mathematics. So when I got the job, worked for CSC, went from there and worked for another company called Macaulay Brown, and they did aerodynamics types engineering for the military. I didn't enjoy it as much as I did doing straight mathematical type computational problems. So a friend of mine happened to live in Miami, Florida. And he also played football with me in college. Now he was trying out for the Dolphins at the time. didn't make the team, but he went into the fitness arena. He opened his own personal training services. He was telling me all about it. I thought it was interesting. So I did something that I wouldn't exactly expect everyone to go do. My parents thought I was crazy, to leave a job like I had, and I was progressing pretty well. Went to management at a young age for this company, but I didn't enjoy it. I wanted to do something I really enjoyed. So with the way I think, I like to be prepared. So I went back to school, started studying exercise phys. I didn't finish my degree in it, but I got enough knowledge in it to understand what was necessary for me to be able to go down there and take that risk. So I also went and got certified as a trainer, certified personal trainer. For that certification, I moved to Miami and I opened up my own personal training service. While I did that, I continued pursuing the understanding the what was needed in that field, rather than just being good in that field. I wanted to be great in that field. And so I continued taking courses in that field.
So, moving forward now, what kind of educational background and experience should a person have to be qualified to do what you do every day?
Okay. Being that my path was unique, I would suggest a person because I built a lot of relationships along the way. When I got to Miami, some of the Dolphins, some guys happened to know me from college, and I ended up training these guys. So my path was a little bit different than what I would tell people to do. I think you should get a degree in Bachelor of Science in either exercise phys, athletic training, sports science, something along that line, even physical education if you want to pursue the field that I'm in. If you can get your master's in it, that's even better. But definitely get your bachelor's in more of the science side of training, I would say. And along with that, I think you should have that CPT, Certified Personal Training, in your pocket through a reputable company like American Council on Exercise or ACSM, something along that line. It's always good to have that under your belt, because while you're studying, you can still be doing some training and making some money. And my path ended up being more so than working with teams. I did work with the team before, a couple teams, but I ended up working more for the player. I had contracts with the player. So it was good to have that either CSCS or that CPT, Certified Personal Training, or that Certified Strength and Conditioning Specialist.
What factors do you think are important in determining a person's career aside from formal education?
Factors that are important: determination. When it become great, not just good. I'm serious about that. I would say one thing that I told you earlier in the conversation that helped me a lot was building relationships, getting to know the right people, having integrity, understanding your competition, what their strengths and what weaknesses are, and I want to be better than what they are. Just like an athlete, they're trying to be better than their opponent, right? You should be doing the same thing, because you might be going for the same job the other guy's going for, or other young ladies going for. So being focused and striving to be great, and knowing what is important for you to know to get there. Understanding your environment that you're trying to attack.
Overall, what has been the most important factor in shaping your career?
Shaping my career, I would say never quitting. Because it's not easy. I mean, you're running into a lot of different roadblocks, and no one ever told you about that. My dad didn't. I mean, my dad was military 30 years. He couldn't tell me everything I was going to possibly run into. So just not giving up and having that determination and that will to make it. That was my thing. I would just never give up.
That's awesome. And so lastly, what advice do you have for young people thinking about going into a career in business, or more specifically, like the athletic side of business?
My advice, like I said, I wouldn't travel just down that one road, because it does veer off into a couple of different lanes. I would definitely master my skill or trait, so to speak. Master that, but at the same time understand, which I'm really big on understanding what your competition's doing. I mean, maybe that's the athlete in me. That way I can know how to navigate my environment that I'm going to be in, because it's always changing. So always staying on top of the new technology that's out there, in the new methodologies in your whatever your field is in your, of business, and you being the one that trying to become a pioneer in it as well. I'm big on not just being the regular guy and just getting a job and doing okay at it. I'm trying to create new things and new ways and be a pioneer.
Well, Ed, thank you so much for your time and getting to spread like some of what you know with a bunch of us who are still deciding what we want to do when we grow up. Loved having you. You're so dynamic and passionate about what you do, and so great to talk to. So
Be
thank
a
you very
champion.
much.
That's how
All
you
right,
get
there
those,
you go.
baby.
Awesome. Great. Well, thanks so much.
You're welcome.
All